Hi there folks, I'm Gene of RPG and welcome back to more Valkyrie Profile. Last time we started Chapter 2 and we got 3 Enherjiar. Before going any further on into the game, I should mention the way Valkyrie Profile works is that there's a set pool of possible Enherjiar you can pull from for each chapter. In hard mode, you're going to get all the Enherjiar by the end of the game for sure. But if you're playing normal or easy mode, the ones you pull are random. So you may not get Jun or Yume when you're playing through the game. I think you'll always get Waffer Chapter 2. I could be wrong about that, but regardless, your team might be a tad different from mine. But I'm actually really glad that we got Yume in particular. Not because she's particularly great. There's another mage character who I think is much better than her that you can get at this point. But because I want to show off, I want to show everybody off as best I can. Well, that's a little bit of a lie. But I want to show characters off, is the point. Before we keep going, first thing we need to do is go ahead and update equipment. So, I got the Supreme Crossbow as one of the rewards from Odin in between chapters, and you can actually make a Supreme Crossbow, although it takes a lot of materialized points to do that. It is technically weaker than our regular crossbow that we were using, but it does have 3 attacks to it, and it does holy damage, so that's pretty nice. We could make a Holy Prayer Staff, but there's no reason to. There's the Spinning Spear, but yeah, we don't need to make any of this stuff. What I do want to make, though, is I believe it's the Watteau that I'm thinking of. Because Jun is a katana user. I also need a lance, I just realized. We're gonna go with the winged spear. Okay, and as I was saying though, Jun is a katana user. Katanas are kind of special in that they are typically a little bit weaker, usually. These very first ones are not good examples, but they're typically a little bit weaker than regular swords. But their charge time for special attacks, they usually reduce how much charge time it takes. So the idea is that they hit a little bit less hard, for lack of proper grammar. But you can do special attacks more often. Lances are just completely unique. They're powerful. There's only 2 characters in the game who use lances. Yeah, they're really good. Okay, we're gonna want to get, we're gonna want to go down to the very bottom of the armor list because we can make a heraldic garb. This is armor that only Lenneth can equip, and a feathered helm. Also a helmet that only Lenneth can equip. Very much worth getting, or worth making for her. And then I want to make 2 silver sallets, a silver tiara. I don't think I need to make a silver cuirass. And I actually think that's good. Yeah, I believe that's all we need to make. So let's go ahead and equip everybody. Silver sallets should be pretty high up on your list. I happen to have a chainmail, which is about the same as oh gosh, what is it called? Silver? The silver cuirass, I think? I don't know. I'm not that worried about their equipment. The main thing is a weapon and a helmet, mostly. So, let's talk about Yume. Yume is another mage, much like Jolanda, except she has different spells innately. She has Stone Torch, which is the worst spell in the game, in my opinion. She has Frigid Damsel, which is a single target ice spell. Hits okay, it does okay damage, but it's really awkward. And then she has Icicle Edge, which is a group ice spell that's actually really, really good. And so, because we need to prepare Enherjiar, we're going to have Yume out there. I mentioned briefly before I got sidetracked that I was really glad that we got Yume, because there's a different mage that you can get in Chapter 2, and more often than not, she's the one I get. But I'm glad we got Yume because, well, by getting Yume, I can actually show her off, because this other mage just completely overshadows her. But anyway, a horrible stench permeates the Nethov swamp. Noxious fumes stream forth from the ground and call to the undead to feed on the flesh of the living. Some hidden power must be there, causing this unnatural disturbance. Well, why don't we find out what that is? Alright, but here we go. The Nethov Swamp. This is a pretty straightforward dungeon. And it has birds!
To my side, my noble Enherjiar. Mother, watch over me.
Alright, let's go ahead and use Icicle Edge. Which is potent enough to just tear through a lot of things.
Their souls have been released. We have no reason to remain here.
The other mage that you get can do this as well, with a different spell that actually works better than Icicle Edge, but yeah, either way. Chapter 2 is probably the easiest chapter in the game. If I'm being completely honest here, it's just you're way more powerful than what the chapter is set up to deal with.
Let us go, my friends.
Alright, let's go through the stupid gunk swamp. Come over to this chest, which is gonna explode! Run! I don't know. To find a Shadow Servant. That is a magic tome. Speaking of tomes, there's all the stuff we got from Odin. We got Combo Counter. That is a skill that you can learn. What can it turn into? Slanting Rain? I'd rather have Combo Counter. Normalize, which is a magic spell that removes status conditions. If we transmute it, it'll turn into Heal. So we're going to do that, and we're actually going to give Heal to Yume because we do not have anyone using Heal at the moment. Weight Reaction. This is one of the most important skills in the game. What it does is it gives your mage a little familiar. I also just realized I didn't equip Lenneth with her new armor. What it does is it gives your mage a little familiar that's tied to her button, or tied to their button rather. And if you're not able to cast a magic spell, that turn, you can instead have the familiar fly forward and hit an enemy. This is actually a really, really, really good thing because it ignores defense. Yeah, it completely ignores enemy defense. And that's pretty swell, I gotta say. Weight Reaction, even at level 1, is easily one of the best skills in the game for mages. Going, we'll take care of this plant.
To my side, my noble Enherjiar.
The plants have an attack that will hit all targets. That includes your mage in the back, so you do want to be careful. And as you can see, because we have ice, you can't quite one-shot them, which is unfortunate. But as you also saw, Icicle Edge has a chance of freezing enemies, which is pretty great. Ow. That's the attack I was talking about. But aside from that, not a lot to say about the plant enemies. Just watch out for the Rhizome Sphere. I think I'm saying that right. They are weak to fire, so Firestorm with Jolanda will probably one-shot them if you have an Element Scepter. Here is another Shadow Servant tome. We're not gonna waste that because it's probably not gonna get used. We come back here in that chest to get a Holy Crystal. That's actually a really important item, and I'll talk about that when we get to the end of Nethov Swamp. Let's go ahead and hop down. Alright, and then we hop up here, take care of this thing.
To my side, my noble Enherjiar.
Ah, more gorillas.
No matter
We're
who
fighting
the
so many gorillas in this game. Let's go ahead and shoot the plant, though. Because the gorillas do not have a way of hitting Yume in the back, so... yeah. So let's talk about Waffer's attacks for a moment. Waffer's attacks are a little bit awkward. Well, one of them is. One of them is set up to where if you use it in the middle of his combo, like if you have a weapon that allows for 3 attacks, the enemy is guaranteed to guard as soon as you use it. So you need to rearrange to where the, I think it's called Prisoner Fang? You need to rearrange to where that's the last attack in the combo. And I'll elaborate on how to rearrange attacks later. Right now we don't have... well, I mean, I guess Lenneth does, but we don't really have weapons that'll allow us to do that.
It might not go so well next time.
But here we go, another plant. And as I mentioned, I think briefly... as I mentioned briefly when we first got him, Waffer is technically one of the strongest Enherjiar in the game. One of 2 Lance characters, and he also has the most, the highest damage potency special attack in the game, as far as Enherjiar go. Which means the trade-off for him is...
To my side, my noble Enherjiar.
the trade-off for him is that his attacks are a little bit awkward. There's another problem with his special attack, which is that it only adds 25 to the energy gauge, so he's only really good for going last. Which, I mean, isn't a big problem, but it's just something worth mentioning. Anyway, we have a new enemy here, a Figment. This is a spirit enemy, and as you can see, it's resistant to ice, so Yume can't do a whole lot of damage to it. It also breathes fire. There's not a whole lot else to say about it, though. It's just kind of here.
You have served me well, my Enherjiar.
As for Jun, Jun is one of 2 katana-using characters in the game, and I briefly talked about katanas also, I think, when we got him, or maybe a little after, I don't remember. But their whole shtick is supposed to be that they're slightly weaker compared to regular swordsmen, but they're able to kick out their special attacks much more frequently. As for how Jun himself is, I find his regular attacks to be a little bit too awkward for my taste. Well, I say awkward, but what I mean is that they're awkward to chain into combos with the other characters, because that's a very important mechanic in the game. And it's just really hard to do that with him, I find. So, I don't really care for Jun much, but other people probably like him more. Also, goodness, we've been fighting a lot of birds. This dungeon, though, is surprisingly similar to the Forest of Woe as far as its whole shtick goes, because all we're doing is running through this swamp. But I'm glad we're right here because there is treasure. We got Cure Condition. That's another one of the best skills in the game, actually. Right here is a hidden chest that you would probably have no way of knowing is there if you didn't have the treasure search. It contains a Flare Basilar. This is a special kind of sword. It has a chance of breaking, but it is relatively powerful for this point in the game with 300 attack power. Also does fire damage. Rather than use it, though, I want to convert it into MP, Materialize Points, because you get 650 when you convert it, and I find that goes way further than the actual sword itself. I should also mention about katana characters, though. Most, if not all of them, can equip, they can equip most, if not all, regular swords, and not just katanas, so if you'd rather have a little more attack power, well, then that's equip a regular sword to them. It's also important to remember that they can do that. Anyway, down here is another hidden chest, which contains a quartz gem, which, I mean, that's nice, but there's also another one. The treasure search is such... Oh, damn it. That's not good. I put it on top of this chest, and now I can't reach it. Get out of here. Yeah, the treasure search is just such an important item. This contains a Demon Slayer. The Demon Slayer is a special sword, much like the Dragon Slayer, I think it's called. But yes, it functions the exact same as the Dragon Slayer sword, except, well, against demons. It'll deal lethal damage to demons. This is really important. Though it probably won't get as much use as the Dragon Slayer sword. Let's keep going. I forget exactly what I was talking about. I believe right here leads us back. See, this dungeon is set up very much in a large circle. It's set up in a very large circle. Like right here is where we came out and went to the left. And yeah, we're almost done with this dungeon. This tree is rotting. Thanks. But yes, you cut down the tree. And you get 5,000 event EXP. Alright. Over here, though, to the right, is a bag, which contains Charge. Charge is a skill. I forget if it's the melee rendition or if it's the magic rendition. What Charge does is when you press and hold hold whatever button it says that's tied to the character, they will do slightly more damage at the cost of some of their HP. So we're going to use Cure Condition because I thought I already used it, but we'll get into that in a bit. I personally don't care much for Charge. Like, you're probably never going to see me use it. But there is at least one character I know who works really well with that, with Charge. But I'll talk about them later. Behind this tree is a pathway, but there's also an enemy along the way. There's also an enemy hidden behind it, but, I mean, hey, what? That's not a big deal, right? Oops. That's all that happens, usually, if you fail to get away from a trap. You get blasted back. Back here is another Holy Crystal, which is really good. Weight reaction, which we've already gotten that, but there's one if you didn't happen to get it from Odin, because that is a thing that can happen. And an Element Scepter. Nice little haul hidden back here in this passageway. Over here is a save point, which means we're also at the end of the dungeon. We're also at the end of the dungeon. So, let's go ahead and get... You head over this way and then come down here. Hop down here. There's no way to get back up once you do. At least I don't think so. Actually, maybe you... Oh, no, there's no wall past there. Okay. I was gonna say maybe you can, but nope, I don't think so. What is a dragon zombie doing here? It's hard to believe that it suffered a mortal wound in combat.
Come to me, Dark Warriors. Battle awaits.
Alright, but boss time! Dragon zombie! Okay, let's see if we can take it. Ow! So weapons don't work, so we must exploit their weak points, but how exactly? Menu commands. This is where it'll tell you how to use items. And it tells us to use an attack item against it. Well, the game happened to give us holy crystals. And this thing is weak to holy. And as you can see, one holy crystal will kill it. Hopefully you didn't waste it. But in case you did... In case you did happen to waste the holy crystals, well, this is where the Dragon Slayer sword comes into play, because, well, that is a dragon enemy. So let's try this again.
Come to me, Dark Warriors. Battle awaits us.
No matter who the opponent.
Start off by having your mage use the weight reaction to break through the defense, then hit the dragon zombie with the Dragon Slayer. And as you can see, it will pretty much kill it.
Is everybody okay? You're not hurt?
But let's say that you used both of the holy crystals and you accidentally used the Dragon Slayer sword earlier and it happened to break, because it can break. Well, in that case, you want to equip the Jeweled Blade Grimwrist, which is a terrible sword normally, but because of the lightning slash death, it should one-shot the dragon zombie, maybe two-shot. It's a little hard to tell for sure.
Come to me, Dark Warriors. Battle awaits us.
No matter who the opponent, I shall not be.
And yeah, just like that, the fight's over. There are plenty of ways of dealing with dragon zombies. And that is what makes the Jeweled Blade Grimwrist so great, is that for whatever reason, they're also weak to lightning, which, because they're weak to lightning, means that they instantly die. So, that's great. I'd recommend using the Dragon Slayer or the Jeweled Blade Grimwrist, because you're probably going to want to save your holy crystals for something later. But for now, we got artifacts. The Bark of the Dryad. This is an artifact that I recommend holding on to for later. We won't be able to do much with it until later. And an inscribed fragment. We're going to hold on to this as well, because why not? You can actually get away with holding on to most of the artifacts, assuming that you're meeting requirements for Enherjiar, for sending Enherjiar to Valhalla, because you've probably noticed that our evaluation went up to 98. It would have been 100, but because I wasn't wearing the Nibelung ring, it only goes up to 98. But yeah, if you're fulfilling requirements, you're probably gonna be able to get away with keeping most of the artifacts. Alright, so let's go ahead and do Salerno Academy now. I forgot to read it. Oh well. This dungeon is a little bit more annoying than the Nethov Swamp.
To my side, my noble Enherjiar.
However, as you can see, it has most of the same enemies in it, and so it'll go by fairly quick, because you guys aren't going to have to see all the fights. In case you're curious, yes, enemy diversity will become a much bigger thing as the game progresses. It's just, for whatever reason, at the beginning, a lot of the dungeons share enemies.
Be damned!
I'm proud to fight by your side.
Alright, here we have a research journal. Oh boy. Page 1. Today I finished work on my plant that reacts to special smells. It reacts by constricting when it detects a particular odor. Finally, my long years of research have borne fruit. Page 2. Can't read any of the writing on page 2. Page 3. It seems that plants with blue flowers react to pleasant fragrances, like the smell of perfume. Okay. Today I tested various smells. After combining them, I created a smell that I can't describe. I wonder if there's a plant that will react to this scent. It will be fun to experiment. What page was that? Okay, that was 4. Page 5. There was a plant that reacted to evil smell. Evil smells! How can a smell be evil? Okay. The test results show that after being sprayed with strong acid, the plants do not return to their original form for a period of time. This is the one that you actually should read and pay attention to. Assuming that you're playing this yourself. Because I'm playing it, you guys don't have to worry. Alright, but let's go ahead and start by going through as much of the dungeon as we can, because there is treasure and enemies to take care of, and you're going to want to take care of all the enemies you can. Like this one. Before we go any further, I need to check. Yeah, he's at 920 capacity points. Because he's wearing the emerald necklace, he gets an additional 100 every time he levels up. The max capacity that a character can have at one time is 999, so we're going to go ahead and spend some of these. In fact, I'm probably going to just go ahead and do this for all 3 of them. Here we are. Alright, there we go. Just because I don't want to waste any of the level ups. Alright, so right here... Well, first off, there's an enemy.
To my side, my noble Enherjiar.
These are just the exact same plant things that we saw. I don't know why they have a different sprite on the map, but regardless.
It might not go so well next time.
Alright, but right here is our first instance of having a smell. Well, whatever. As you can see, Lenneth is kind of glowing red and also has a little puff smoky thing. What you want to do is match the color Lenneth is to the corresponding vines. Like this one has yellow flowers, so we're red, and so that won't work. If we if we examine this corpse, we find perfume, which makes us blue. And as you can probably guess, there is a thing that will make us yellow. And that's the critical thing for the puzzle of this dungeon.
To my side, my noble Enherjiar.
This is just one of the bird enemies. Again, don't know why it has a different sprite on the overworld, in the dungeon, but it's the exact same bird. And now you know that it is the word.
Before my blades, all are powerless.
Slanting rain. That is a skill for archers. We're going to actually hold off on using it because it's a skill I'm never going to use. If you hold a certain direction, when you fight or when you choose your archer's attack, it will instead attack all of the enemies for massively reduced damage. I believe that's what that one is. I personally don't find it very useful, but maybe that's just me. Alright, this room is important because up here is where you can find the strong acid. We're not going to be using this yet because, well, we need to use it on a very specific spot. Namely up here where the blue flower plant is. But just using it right now won't do us a whole lot of good. We need to take care of clearing out the dungeon first. Well, not the whole dungeon, but most of it, actually. Hopefully my memory of the puzzle isn't getting the better of me and I actually remember how to do it. Also, I both love and hate these vines that you have to cut with the sword. I know there's a skull there. I saw the distortion. Oh, come on. Alright, but let's get this treasure chest, which has an Eye of Heaven. Ah! I missed one! Jeez, it scared the crap out of me. Alright, let's head down this way. And I think that just about takes care of what we need to do. As far as, well, not what we need to do. That just about takes care of enemies, I should say. So now we need to head back this way. Cut these stupid vines. And then we need to come in here, jump in the pool with the red flowers. There we go. We need to go back around to where the red flower vine wall is, which I believe is down here. And then down here. And go through it, and then come in here. Where the yellow is. Now, as soon as you set foot in this room, you'll start to glow yellow, and that will override whatever scent you have already, or that you already had. Come down here, and then we can go through that yellow one. Now, here's the deal with the puzzle. First, we need to start with blue. First, we need to start with blue, because here's the thing. As I mentioned, we need to get past the one blue vine door. Blue vine door? No. The one blue vine wall. That's right up here. Which is easy enough to do if you're blue, because you can just go straight through. Also, treasure chest. Contains icicle edge. Which is easy enough. It's easy enough to do once you're blue, when you have blue, because you can go right through. But then you get to here. You need to get to here with yellow. And there's only one place to get yellow. So, what we need to do is use blue to take this down. Then we need to use the strong acid, which will prolong how long it is down for. Now, we need to go back this way, up here. Head this way. Cut the vine. Come down here. Come over here. Get the red. Leave. Go up. Head to the right, cut the vine. Come this way, go down. Go to the right, go down. Go to the left, go through here. come out right here to turn yellow, come up here, go through there, and hopefully I did this right. Because we are actually on a time limit, which is why I'm trying to go as quick as I can. I did not do it right. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. But when that means that I took a wrong turn, which I thought might have been the case. When this happens, because odds are your first time playing, this is exactly what will happen. You can come over here and you can get another thing of strong acid. Now we need to go and get the blue fragrance again. Actually, I want to check, because I think where I messed up was that I went all the way back around, and I think I could have just come around this way to get... Yeah, I could have. Okay, well, good to know. Alright, but let's go ahead and get blue again. Head over here, bring that down, use the strong acid. Come down here. Well, you guys know where this is going. But I don't want to just cut, because I want you guys to see how to do it. Although you probably get the idea at this point. Come over here, go into here, jump into the red pool. Or walk in it, it doesn't matter. Come out this way, go back up. Head to the right, cut the vines. Come over here, head down. To the right, go down. Head left. Through the red vines, come in here where the yellow is. Instead of doing what I was a dipshit and did last time, come down here, go through this yellow, and then go up. Come over here, head up. Head to the right, head up. And this should do it. Yeah, and just like that, we made it through. We're also yellow, which means we can pass through this vine wall, and there we go. Okay, so you have the option here to go to the front. Do not do that, because if you do, you cannot come back. You'll have to go through the puzzle again, which is annoying, to say the least. Alright, but let's see what we have here. A trap chest! Run away! An element scepter, which is great. Is there any other treasure here? I don't believe so. Okay. Alright, we are almost done with this dungeon. Almost. So if you head left here, you're going to walk through the fountain, which will get rid of your smell. That sounds weird when I say it like that, but that's what it does. The thing is, over here to the right is another red pool, I believe. And a chest. Which contains a flame jewel. These are special items that we're not going to learn anything about what they do until after we beat the game, actually. But this is where the first one in the game is. You're going to want to make sure you grab it. Also, I should mention they're only in hard mode. This is a hard mode exclusive dungeon. Anyway, you want to go into the red pool so that way you have your red smell. Climb this vine. So that way you can climb along the rooftop. Take care of all the stupid birds. Said all the birds. Oh, come on. But by doing that, we can bypass the fountain and keep our smell. Again, that's really weird to say. Here's a save point, which means we're at a boss. Harpy, the flying hag, huh? Die, beast! Abomination, you are an insult to all natural bird. Okay.
Come to me, Dark Warriors. Battle awaits us.
Harpy, a difficult foe if fought with a sword, but easily shot and taken down from a distance. Indirect attacks can be made with magic and bows, as well as skills like the Sorcerer's Weight Reaction, which I've already covered. And for warriors, there is also the Throw skill. Absolutely worthless, in my opinion. But doesn't matter, because we don't have it. But this fight kind of sucks, because the boss uses Reflect Sorcery, which means we can't use magic on it. Otherwise, it's going to get bounced right back at us, which is a pain. Luckily, it only lasts for a few turns, but... Really gonna drag this out, aren't you? Oh, wow. Okay. You can also do Thunder Strike, which hits everybody. That actually did a ton of damage. Alright, let's see if we can do magic now. No, we can't. But luckily, it didn't actually hurt Yume at all. Alright, let's try again. There we go. It apparently lasts for like 5 turns. Alright. Oh, darn it. Alright, this... Oh, no! Yume! Well, evidently the game just doesn't want me to use a special attack on this thing. Alright, but when a character goes down, I think this is our first time seeing it, you can go into items and use a Union Plume to bring them right back up. Thing is, that takes the character you used the items with action, and it also, the character that comes back can't take an action. Alright. Alright, this is getting to be a little ridiculous. But it's okay, we'll be fine. Or maybe not. Okay. Because I think that was my last Union Plume. Oh yeah, no, this is bad. So when you see it say limit 3, you can only be alive for 3 turns without Lenneth up and moving. Because, well, she's the one who materializes everybody. This fight went terrible.
No, not here.
Well, that's unfortunate, but I guess a nice-ish thing about Valkyrie Profile is if you do happen to get a game over and get wiped out, you're sent to the world map. As opposed to it just being a game over. But what this means is that I have to run all the way back. It's been so long since I've had a game over, too, in Valkyrie Profile. Or been wiped out in Valkyrie Profile. It's crazy. Anyway, I'll see you guys at the boss. We'll try this again.
Come to me, Dark Warriors. Battle awaits us.
Alright, let's try this again. It's so just unexpected because it's been such a long time since I've actually been wiped out in Valkyrie Profile. But yeah, same strategy as before. It's gonna use reflect stuff. Reflect sorcery, that's the word. And once it gets lower on HP, it's gonna try and use Thunder Strike a lot. Alright, at this point, I think we should have Yume use heal. Alright, turn 5. Oh, so close. Oh well, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna win this time. Yep, just like that we win. Again, I don't know what happened last time. Just bad luck, I guess. Regardless, it's actually not a very hard fight.
Fight by your side.
And if you manage to knock a treasure chest out of it, you get a Bracelet of Zoe. This is a very, very good accessory that you can put in the decoration slot. And what it does is that for each one you have equipped on a character, when they level up, they get an additional 300 to their max HP. Very nice. This means if you have 2 equipped, you get 600 to your max HP. It's a very good accessory, and is actually critical if you're looking to max out your HP. Also, I love that the artifact chests are up here in a bird nest. The Holy Grail. If there's one artifact from this dungeon that you want to get, it's this one. The Fame Fen. This is a special regular sword. It's actually not all that good, but I'm going to keep it because I have no reason not to. And then the Tiara of the Holy Empress. If I remember right, I think this is actually junk, but again, same deal, I'm keeping it. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look, because I am curious about the tiara. Yeah, well, not garbage, but it's not actually all that great. The Fame Fen. Oh, I had the Grimwrist equipped to him the whole time. The only one in our group at the moment who could equip it is Lenneth. The Fame Fen, 60 attack power, very bad attack trust, similar to the Grimwrist, but you get 3 attacks with it, and so it's okay. The real reason that I want these items, well, not so much the tiara, but the Fame Fen, is because of materialize points. Because it gives us a good amount of materialize points. Anywho, folks, next time on Valkyrie Profile, we are going to see the normal mode dungeon for Chapter 2, as well as take a look at the Caves of Oblivion. And then, of course, we'll do the Sacred Phase. I'm Gene of RPG, and I'll see you guys then.